Hi, happy holidays. I am Paul Chartier. This is Heart of Gold. Welcome. We've got some new guests on. Drew Rodriguez, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, Paul.
And from the Markey Cancer Center and Foundation, Mike Delzotti.
Good to see you.
Good to have you. I don't know where to begin. I'll tell you where I'm going to begin is at a chamber lunch that I'm sitting there, and this guy walks in, and I'm thinking, is it spring break or what is a high school student doing?
It was a public policy luncheon.
Yes, and it was a fabulous way to meet you, and you've got a terrific idea. Why don't you share what it is?
Okay, all right. So the Markey Dine Around, it's a restaurant fundraiser. That's what it is in its core. We're going to have 25 restaurants when it's all said and done. They're going to donate 25% of their proceeds on January 28th to the Markey Cancer Foundation. So that's a quick and dry version of what it is. In reality, we're doing a lot to promote our restaurants that are participating and our sponsors that are making this a reality.
You have to name the sponsors.
I have to name the sponsors, yes. So I want to point out Smiley Pea Publishing. Chuck Creasy, he's on our committee.
Yep.
And he has been phenomenal. Our committee as a whole has been incredible. Chuck has donated a lot of resources, a lot of promotion, and we're very thankful for that. Kaylin Query is also on our committee. She has Limestone Hall downtown, and she's another sponsor. And Solomon and Company is another sponsor as well. And Kaylin's company is Lexington Event Company.
Limestone on the top of the old courthouse. Are they going to have an event there?
So we're going to, about a week, we're still figuring out the specifics, but we're going to have a thank you celebration for our sponsors, for our restaurants that are there, our ambassadors the night of. So if anybody's interested in coming the night of the event to our various restaurants and being an ambassador of the Markey Dine Around and asking people, do you know what's going on here tonight? Do you know what you're benefiting by going out to eat tonight? So we're going to have a big thank you celebration for all those people, and it'll be at Limestone Hall. So we're really looking forward to that as well.
Mike Delzotti, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about the Markey Cancer Foundation.
Well, the Markey Cancer Foundation was created by Dr. Ben Roach in the late 70s when he was the doctor to the horse set, and he was finding that so many of his patients had to leave town in order to get good cancer care. So he met with some people in town, and through extraordinary acts of philanthropy, very generous acts, built and created the Markey Cancer Center in 1982. So since then, the foundation not only built the center, but we administrate its endowment, and we're the fundraising arm for the Cancer Center, which is Kentucky's only National Cancer Institute designated cancer center.
Volunteers are important. Money is crucial as well. And you've got some fun things going on campus right now at Markey. What's going on there?
Well, Markey is a very dynamic institution. So our mission is about screening, so early detection, early treatment, and really with Dr. Mark Evers, who's the head of the Markey Cancer Center. Kentucky is the state with the worst cancer rates in the union, yet Dr. Evers is the guy with the plan. So he is making sure that we're out in the community, that we're catching cases early through screening people who never had access to it before, and then can be treated in the local communities. They can come to Markey and receive above standard of care treatment, and our aim is to make sure that the stories turn out the way we want them to.
I think it would be easy for someone with the ranking of Kentuckians. I think it'd be easy for someone to say, I can't even begin to approach or attack that problem.
Right.
But Dr. Evers is all in to do that.
Yes, he just celebrated his 10th year here. He came to us from the University of Texas Medical Branch. He's a Tennessee boy, but he loves Kentucky and has been here a decade. And what he's really done is he's pushed us out into the community. He's created what's known as a Markey affiliate network. So we're across the state. So what that means is you can go to your local hospital, which is an affiliate of Markey, and receive access to our trials and to our high-level cancer care if that becomes necessary. You may need to come to Markey once or twice, but then you can be treated in the comfort of your own community. So we're now out there. He's been pushing screenings, and the numbers of screenings and the level of detection has gone up greatly. So he can prove that we've had an impact on the quality of life by getting out there and getting ahead of things.
You are the head of the foundation.
I am.
You help go out and make connections and raise money. The money that's raised, what kind of impact are you seeing with Markey?
Right, and that's a very good point. The work of the Markey Cancer Foundation just doesn't happen. It happens because people of goodwill make it happen. So as we raise those funds, the vast majority are designated to either go to research or go to equipment or professorships. What Dr. Evers has been doing is recruiting world-class talent from literally across the United States.
Yes.
So even though he's competing against Memorial Sloan Kettering, MD Anderson, Loma Linda, because of the quality of life in Kentucky, because of the autonomy he can give people and the latitude we can provide with philanthropy, he is effectively stealing folks from top-rate cancer centers across the United States to come here to lead our program. And that's now allowing us to begin treating people from across the globe. We actually had some patients recently from a Baltic nation come here because we have a specialist who's doing specific work in prostate cancer, in a specific form of cancer that can't be found anywhere else. Markey.
Wow.
That is amazing. Mike, you deal with millions, mega millions. What drew you to even want to talk to Drew about his fantastic idea?
Well, I pretty much assume that if Drew wants to talk to somebody, he's going to get to them. So I used the word indefatigable earlier.
Which is a hard word for anybody to say.
What does it mean? Yes, he cannot be fatigued.
Yeah.
But he interfaced with one of our fundraisers who came back to the office and was just amazed at his energy and his focus, and another guy with a plan. So we got together and we thought it was a great idea. It's a great idea to raise awareness, right? So early detection, early treatment, get out in the community. To use your words, people are dining out anyways, but this is a good way for them to be brought into the fold. And we're more than likely going to include some type of information on early screening anyway, so there's a personal benefit to folks who say, I've not gotten this test, or unfortunately I'm at that age that I should have this done. So we want to be out there to remind people of how they need to care for themselves as well.
And Drew, you're not doing this in a self-serving way.
Oh, no,
You've got a
absolutely
very
not.
good heart. What about cancer or Markey wanted them to be the benefactors from what you're doing?
Well, cancer is unfortunately very present in Kentucky. And I'm involved in a cancer fundraiser in my high school. So that was my initial, I guess you could say, intro into the world of fundraising. So that was much smaller scale. And through that experience, I realized, well, I really want to do more. I want to do something bigger that's going to impact more people. And that's what led me to doing this. And to the foundation's credit, sending their president and their lead fundraising officer to come meet with the high schooler. It was in the conference room of our high school. So I've got to give credit to our high school too, and our principal. They place enormous trust in me to do these things. So I have these opportunities. There's no reason that I shouldn't take advantage of them, not for myself, but for the people of Lexington and Kentucky as a whole. So that's what led me to creating this. And Markey is just such a phenomenal organization, as Mike spoke to. There's so much that they're doing for us that we have a responsibility to help them in their effort to help us.
So, and Paul, if I may add an aside to that. So, Sarah Roniger, my colleague, and I went to Fred Douglas to meet with him one day. And I live in a suit because I'm a fundraiser. And I walked through the door and I said, I'm here to see, and the woman behind the counter said, you're here to see Drew, right? I said, yeah. She goes, I figured. So apparently he gets visitors quite often.
Something like that.
Visitors with bodyguards and handlers.
Well, I try to support our school. I try to do whatever I can to help those around me, right? For some reason, people want to help me. So I have that blessing, and I'm going to help other people through that.
We now know where the money's going to go through a very fun event. What are the dates of the event, and what website can people go to to go to the restaurants?
So it's going to be January 28th. It's going to be all day. So we're going to have a variety of restaurants, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can go to www.markeydinearound.com. That's our website. And we're also going to have a Facebook event page. We're going to be on social media. Our first ad actually just came out in the Chevy Chaser magazines. So that's Chevy Chaser and Southsider. So you can see us there. January 28th is the day of the event. Like I said, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Go to our website and you can check out all the restaurants that
What day of the week is that?
It's going to be a Tuesday evening.
Good for restaurants to get more business on a Tuesday. Can you name some of the restaurants?
Yeah. So we've got restaurants on all sorts of the spectrum. So we've got all the way from Jeff Ruby's to, restaurants Saw Good, Pasta Garage, Cordo y Lima. There's a new restaurant in town in City Center, Ital X, new Italian restaurant. We're excited that if all goes to plan, they'll be joining us as well too. So we've got restaurants from all sorts of areas. Grey Goose. Go to the website, check out the restaurants. There's sure to be one there that you love to dine out at, and that's a good excuse to go get dinner out that night.
Mike, you mentioned it is about money, but it's about the exposure at the same time. On that Tuesday night, you'll probably own this town, not just within the restaurants, but the people that you're going to have in the restaurants helping you be hosts of these events.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be an amazing night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think people are going to enjoy themselves. Our hosts will enjoy themselves. We're working on some ways to distinguish them so they'll be easily seen. I think there's going to be a lot of energy around it. Unfortunately, 1 in every 2 men and 1 in every 3 women will hear in their lifetime the words, "You have cancer." So, unfortunately, far too many of us are familiar with that. So, anyone in a restaurant will have some story, close or distant, current or past, that I think will get them involved in this to say, I want to do something. I want to bring something to this.
You do this for a living. I do it for fun, to get involved in things, but to take an idea and to move it to fruition. It's great to have the dream, but getting it to fruition is not the easy part. For you to line all this up, and then did you talk to all the restaurants yourself?
Yes. So we've got a committee. I want to speak to something earlier. How you had said Mike had talked about how cancer is so prevalent in Kentucky. I was on a plane the other weekend, and there were 2 gentlemen sitting to my right. And by the end of that flight, I had found out that the gentleman sitting next to the window, his son's wife had just died from cancer 2 weeks ago. They were married 3 months. They were 24 years old. The man in the aisle seat, his mother, I believe, had died from cancer several years ago. So it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. And it's a tragedy. So that's one thing that I've learned in doing this, and that has propelled me, and that's definitely driven me to keep doing this. And it's given me perspective. That's something that cancer patients have. They have perspective, and I'm so grateful to be able to share that with them and to help them in their journey, hopefully. But to your point of the restaurants, we have a committee. So that's another thing I've learned. The people of Lexington are just so generous with their time, their resources, and we've got a fun culture in Kentucky. We've got a lot of good places to go out to eat. So our committee has worked. They're very well connected in the community, and our restaurants have been more than willing to participate in this and to join forces with an organization like Markey. So we're really looking forward to it. And I wanted to also add breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so not just the evening.
And people could do all 3.
They can do all 3 if you'd like.
And they get a punch card, and then they get like some Pepto-Bismol at the end, and then they're good to go. You're a high school student.
I am.
You're a senior.
I am.
You're going to go to college.
I am.
We all hope that you come back because this town is going to be your oyster. Drew, give the website one more time, if you
It's
would.
www.markeydinearound.com.
Drew, it is amazing that we are sitting next to each other. It's a pleasure to meet you. Mike, thank you for taking a time out of your crazy life to
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for doing this.
To do this and to give time for a young man with great ideas.
Absolutely.
Great energy.
Very thankful for both of you. And for the community of Lexington as a whole. Come out to eat, enjoy some good time. If you want to be a host of the night, reach out to us. We're looking forward to it.
Oh, I thought you were asking me.
Well, of course you're going to be a host that night.
I am Paul Chartier. We'll be right back on Heart of Gold. Look up their website and have a great night on January 28th.
January 28th,
Good.
that's correct.
We'll be right back.